Jesus. There's Russian, yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, Nix.
Good morning.
Morning, RJ.
Good morning.
I feel like it's I forgot what this is like, this podcast.
I know,
We
it's
do it
been
once
a-
a week now instead of
it's been
every
a
day.
while.
It has
Mhm.
been a while. What are you working on over there?
Oh man, I got too many tabs open.
You just
I-
shut those
I'm
tabs
reading.
down,
I'm reading
buddy.
through my questions, and
You shut down those
the
tabs.
first question I'm looking at is how loud are the vibrators? And
That's-
so I just want everybody to know what's going on my seat right now.
Yeah, what is under there?
Wait, hold on.
Ah.
That right out of we got this sick.
Nix.
yeah.
Nix, you want to explain what he's doing right
That's
now?
what
or
we
what
got
that thing
going
is?
on right now.
That's our dream ball, and it's good for like people with arthritis. We sell it for a lot of elderly people. They use it for arthritis. I work in a warehouse, so I wear steel toe all day. So I like to massage my feet at the end of the day because they're sore, and just kind of like you do here at the gym with putting the ball in the back of the like on the wall and like working out your muscles. So. Um, it can be used for sexual pleasure, but
Oh.
most people don't use it for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your preference.
So most people don't stick it up their butt cheeks and sit down in their office like RJ does?
As far as I know, no, but
Like, that
maybe.
fit pretty easy.
Funny
man.
how that's the first thing
This
you
is
went
the-
to,
I
eh?
feel like this is compact. It fits pretty good in there. So
It does feel pretty good. And so what she's referring to is we have those what do we even call those balls? The little balls.
lacrosse balls.
The lacrosse balls, and basically you're just going to basically apply a pressure to somewhere on your body using that ball. This I feel is definitely a game changer. Levels it up just a little bit,
the
right?
vibrations.
And what I feel is that you wouldn't get bored.
yeah.
Because I know when you're doing rolling and self care and functional movement, it's like, how long do I got to do this for? But I know you got something vibrating. It might.
Well,
you might keep
here's
it
the
there for a
thing:
little
it's working on my glute, but it's making me feel tingly in the front.
while. Mhm.
Is that normal or?
Party in the back? No.
Yeah.
Party in the back, business in the front. Business in the front, party in the back.
It's like
It's a
party on
party
both
all
ends.
around.
It's a party
It's
everywhere.
Party
all
on both
around.
ends. There we go.
So we're going to talk a little bit about your business, a little bit further, and actually those are the products that we got at the front of the table, Jerome. So if you want to let them know, and we got actually a really good one, and it just to give you an idea, this one is called Great Head. So we'll leave it at that for now, but we'll talk
Yeah.
about it shortly. But before we do that, why don't I tell everybody who our guest is today? Today's guest hails from Edmonton, Alberta, but has lived in Winnipeg since 2005. Has called Fit Club home for the last 3 years. Loves to travel, be outdoors, and is a sucker for a great sunset. She works 8 to 12 hours a day in a physically intense job, but now has become a consultant for a company called Pure Romance that specializes in virtual and group gatherings for women to talk about sexual health and well-being in a safe environment. Everybody, please welcome Nikki Herbert. Woo!
Herbert. I didn't know it was Herbert.
Yeah.
I always thought it was.
I've been
Hebert.
saying
No.
that wrong for 3 years.
Hebert.
Can't believe you haven't just fixed that for me, but
Isn't there like a cartoon? Hebert or Herbert?
I
I'm
don't
talking
know.
about the glasses. He's always angry. He works in an office.
I don't know, but the old
Herbert?
man, the
You guys
old
know what I'm
man on
talking about?
Family Guy there, that pervert, he's Mr. Herbert.
Really?
Yeah.
That's his name?
yeah.
I just know him as no wait.
old guy.
Oh, the old.
That old guy.
Want some candy?
Yeah.
Got some candy in the basement.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I do know who that is. I do know who that is. And also, guys, before I get started, I just want to thank our sponsor of the podcast, which is the new Winnipeg Dodge. That's the banner that's behind Nick's right now, servicing Winnipeg, Headingley, and surrounding areas. There are many reasons to choose Winnipeg Dodge as a dealership to trust with your vehicle. Employing only highly trained technicians that use certified parts from the manufacturer, we make servicing your vehicle a simple and pleasant experience. From your initial auto search online until you drive off our lot in your new or used vehicle, Winnipeg Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram is excited to be your preferred auto partner. Call them at 204-774-4444.
That's
A lot
easy.
of four. That's super
How do you even
easy.
get those numbers anymore?
Do you remember? I remember when I first got my cell number, and it was like 999.
Oh yeah.
You could just get the best numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was just like back in the day when you could actually get a Gmail address that just had your name.
Yeah.
You know, and now you got to like mix
Yeah,
it
it's
up.
like how
with-
does somebody have my exact name?
I know,
Like,
crazy.
why would you
And
take
now there's
that?
like 75 million that have your exact name. You know
That's
what
why
I
you
mean?
have to have like the hashtag, the number, all the things.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Then it gets
Stupid.
confusing.
And then a 12375 lowercase. It's almost
Yeah.
like a password
It
that you need
is.
as your
Yeah.
Gmail account.
Yeah.
Next, we got you on here because we want to talk about your fitness journey. So if you're watching this on Facebook, have a look at those pictures that are posted. And I remember you coming in here, and I got a story. You remember I got this?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what led up to it, but we were we were doing the hooting and hollering, and I said to you, what did I say to you? I said, you ready to go or something like that?
I was actually doing the ropes
Okay.
and I was dying over there
Yeah.
and I wanted to stop. And you came over and you're like, come on, just keep going. I'm like, I can't. And then you're like, come on. And I'm like, I got
Oh
this.
yeah, that's what it was. And I just remember she said it so powerfully, and it was one of those moments you're like, holy shit, did she
Yeah.
just say that all out like that? And it was from that point on that I always looked at you as one of my favorites. 'Cause I'm like, if you come rolling in here with that attitude, the I got this attitude, even if you're dying, you know what I mean? You know you're gonna crush it, right? So that was a really good story. So we're looking at the pictures right now. What is the time difference between the before Knicks and the after Knicks?
That was in 1 year. So that was
1 year.
like my first year here.
Mm.
I started at 198 pounds when I came in here.
Wow.
And I am now 142 pounds.
Mm.
Wow.
And I see you've maintained it even over the COVID.
It's half a person.
I mean, I haven't been the best, but
Yeah,
but
who
I,
has,
I
right?
try.
Yeah, yeah. So what was your motivation back a year ago when you were, you're at 190, whatever it was? What finally kicked in where you just said enough is enough?
Well, that was like a super hard time in my life, and I suffer with depression, and mental health is super important to me. I started going to therapy, and I was like trying to fix all the things that I didn't like about myself or my uncomfortableness. And being overweight is hard.
Mhm.
It's like everything is hard.
Yeah.
You try to do things and you're like, I also have a very physical demanding job. So like I work for New Flyers, so I'm lifting steel like all day and I
Okay.
would be like dying. So I'm like, I need to get into shape like now.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I just kept pushing forward and getting on a meal plan and the challenges that you guys had offered here at the gym. I
Mhm.
did all of them. Every time you guys had one, I was on board. So
Yeah.
I just kept pushing and
And now here you
I'm
are.
like one of those people though, like when I have something in my head, like I'll go for it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like my business too. Like I'm a very shy person and
Mhm.
I don't like to be on the spotlight. I don't like to talk in front of people. But this past year, I've decided to get outside of my comfort zone
Good.
and I made my first live video this past year. And then because I was thinking about joining Pure Romance, I actually tried the product for 7 months before I actually started selling it.
Yeah.
So it's just for me, like, it's the same with my fitness journey. It's just I keep pushing and
Yeah.
I don't give up.
Yeah.
Like, I just have that mentality. So,
So what did you find more effective or equally effective? Was it therapy or working out and getting in shape?
working out and getting in shape.
Isn't it funny how that kind of solves so many problems?
Yeah.
I feel like human beings overthink everything. If you just get in shape and feel better in your own skin, all your other problems seem to get solved for the most part, right?
Yeah, 100%, because your confidence is higher and
Yep.
like everything. It's
Yep.
just you feel good. And for me, that's what it was. Like, I did my therapy for a year and then I was like at a moment where I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mhm.
But my fitness journey is definitely has helped me
So when you say
overcome.
therapy, that's sitting with somebody and talking? Is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how long? Are you still doing that or not?
No,
Oh,
I'm
this
not
has two
doing that.
speeds.
Yeah, it has more than
Oh
two.
my God.
Keep going.
Sidetrack.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, I'm trying to shut it off and it's going nuts here.
You just hold it down.
Oh, and it pulsates.
Yes.
there's 3 different ones?
I think there's like 8.
That's dreamy.
You
How do you
might-
how do you shut it off?
You might just
Hold
order a
the-
few of those already.
Just
Okay.
hold it down.
Okay. Anyways, therapy,
Yeah.
So you did it for a year,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you stopped.
Yeah.
and then you found that this was a little more effective than.
Yeah. Like I was going to therapy when I started coming here,
Hmm.
but for me it's like it was hard because like I'm a hard person to like break and open up, and it's like that's a complete stranger. So to
Mhm.
try to like go in there and talk about your life, it's kind of a hard thing to do.
Hmm.
But here it was just like just do the workout, and I
Yeah.
always left just feeling like empowered and like, wow, I did that. Holy shit, I did 6 burpees today. Wow, I couldn't even do
I
one.
love that.
And you get accomplished right away. Just like
Yeah.
today, I challenge everybody to do as many push-ups as they can in
Mhm.
one round, and people were pushing themselves and just being able to do one. And you remember, man, last week I couldn't do 0, and then you get all the way up to like 20 or 30, and it's just instant gratification.
Yeah.
And I like what you said earlier. Is the one thing is a lot of people can go and find some type of satisfaction or reward through buying things. Go and get a new haircut. Go and get your eyebrows done or your hair colored or buy
New
something. Buy
car,
something new.
Something, yeah.
And that only lasts for so long because that will get old and you got to get that replaced versus you live in your body 24/7. You sleep in it,
Mhm.
you eat in it, you walk in it, you live in it.
Yeah.
So it's like if you take care of yourself and you're giving something back that's in a positive way, in a way that you get an instantaneous reward, not only are you going to look and feel better, but inside you're going to know that you're doing better for yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Have you noticed yet that your circle, the people that you hang around with, have they elevated their attitude because you are now this different person? Or
Yeah.
have you got different
I've
a different circle?
actually I have way different circle than I did when I started.
Mhm.
I A lot of people are like, you're too into your fitness and like, and
Mhm.
they're just, I
Hell
don't
yeah,
just,
you are.
yeah.
Hell
And
yeah.
so I don't hang out with a lot of people that I used to hang out with. Bad choices like eating out all the time, going out to eat and like those kinds of things. And
Yeah.
like now I'm kind of like more cautious about that stuff. So then they don't even invite me anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's no big deal.
I know we went for a bike ride with Bob and Kathy the other day, and we ended the ride. They had to drive us home, got caught in the rain, and I was thinking to myself, I should probably like invite them in and have a beer, and maybe we should have a sandwich or whatever you're supposed to do. And I'm just like, man, I'm so not that person anymore. Where we're gonna sit down and drink now. Like we just did this crazy bike ride. I don't want to lose all those gains
Yeah.
by sitting down and having a beer. So you really got to become a different person altogether.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I know the way I grew up in a family, it's always about like, oh, just come over, just drop by. I mean, nobody does a drop by anymore, but
Yeah.
just drop by, and then of course somebody's gonna whip you up some pierogies or whatever, and here's 15 drinks. And man, that was such something that I had to completely untrain my brain, you know. And I don't even look at it as a negative anymore. And in fact, if people want to hang out with us, you got to be on a bike. We're gonna go for a walk, even meetings with business. I encourage them to let's get out of here and let's walk around the block while we talk. You
Yeah.
know? And that's what you got to do. That's why I feel like you really got to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yesterday we were at a barbecue too, right? Like we just went over to Umish's
Yeah.
house and we hung out there, and the food choices were phenomenal. I was
Yeah.
like, man, chicken thighs. You know what I mean?
Can't
Like
go
this is
wrong.
great.
Yeah.
Versus like
Lots of fruit and veggies.
feeding you the bad stuff, right?
Mhm.
That most people, when you go to somebody's house, you're like, all right, it's gonna be something bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I usually eat before I go to somebody's house, just so I'm not sitting there hungry and having to eat the food that generally are put out. You know, like the easy stuff, like
Yeah.
pizza and whatever. And I'm like, no, let's put a little thought into it. you know?
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about what therapy is? Like I've never.
Mhm.
That's like wait, you say that when people say a shrink, that's what you mean, right?
Yeah,
A therapist?
yeah,
Okay.
like just basically like because I would like I had like a pretty shitty childhood. Like
Okay.
I have a very broken family, and I was also in like CFS.
Mm.
So it's like they always like suggest that you go talk about that stuff, but sometimes it's like you just have to like what I learned going to therapy is sometimes you just have to let that shit go.
Yeah.
And there's no amount of talking about it that's going to change what happened or the
Mhm.
things that you went through. So it's like you got to let that go and then just work towards things that like make you feel good and make you happy. And like that's what I learned from it. So like a lot of people say, oh, therapy doesn't help. And like I honestly feel the same. I don't feel like it did a lot for me. And just joining the gym and like starting my own business and having my own side hustle and because I feel like that's the thing. It's 2020, man. Like everybody needs that
got it.
extra, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm on board with that. So, but
Yeah.
that's it's seeing the shrink basically and talking. They say if you talk about it, it helps you get through it. But I just find it doesn't. I find like you just have to like let it go,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
you can't change it, so you just move forward from it.
Yeah,
So
I agree. Even just like when we have those conversations, we had a former alcoholic who's now a counselor, and you know, a lot of people will have stuff from childhood, right?
Mhm.
And they hold it forever for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And my question was, at what point do you just like let that go?
yeah,
You know, like I understand some shitty stuff happened to you, I get it, but you can only talk about things for so much.
Yeah.
You know, at some point you just got to shut it off and be like, screw it, this is my new life. I'm moving on, right?
exactly. Because otherwise it just weighs you down. It
Exactly.
makes you
How do you fix it if
miserable.
you're just talking about it
Yeah.
constantly, you know?
And if you want to make a difference, if you're so intrigued by everything, well, then start your own cause or
Yeah.
start getting involved with somebody else's cause
Yeah.
and make a difference. Start trying to help somebody versus trying to like raise your voice and get
Mhm.
into an argument. Like, what is that going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do something good. Turn that energy and start giving back, like putting work in. So if you have a problem with inner city youth, right? Instead of going to the government and saying, why are we not spending more money with this and why are we not investing in this area and da da da. Well, why don't you just go and volunteer?
Yeah.
And then if you make, if you're working a job, then why don't you take a portion of your money and then donate that to that cause? And then get more people, since you're so loud, why don't you just get more people around you to get involved versus trying to find a higher power to do the job for you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I totally agree.
I love when people are like, somebody needs to do something about this.
Yeah.
Well, you're the person.
Yeah.
If you're the one talking about it, you be
You
that
brought it
somebody.
up.
And it's amazing how many, like every other post is about how somebody needs to do something about this. Actually floors me.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest. So therapy was okay. It got you talking. It got you thinking, which got you into the right mindset, which got you here.
Yeah.
Right. And so from here, you go ahead and lost a bunch of weight. You started your own side hustle for 2020. So what is the plan with the business? That we'll talk about right away. But
Basically, it's just like, for me, I have debts right now, so
Mhm.
I want to get out of debt. And it's a struggle with just like, especially with COVID, because I used to work a lot of overtime, which has been totally diminished now.
Oh, really?
So I went from having a paycheck that I was very used to now just working 8 hours a day, my 80 hours every 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, frick, man, now I can't. This is going to take me forever. So I don't know. I just see a lot of people nowadays having something on the side.
Yeah.
And one day I'm hoping I could just quit my job, because it means, just under broke.
Yeah.
That's what job is. So
Yeah.
for me, I'm hoping I can make something of it later. But for right now, my why is just to get myself out of debt and get ahead with that. So that's what it is to
Nice.
me.
So let's talk about it. So it's a health and wellness company,
Yeah.
correct? I'll just let you go ahead and to say what it is instead of me trying to put the words in your mouth here. So go ahead and describe it.
So yeah, it is health and wellness. Like it, we also sell relationship enhancement products, is what we call that.
Mhm.
And a lot of people, I think, have a stigma on pure romance, because a lot of people are just, oh, it's just sex toys. I'm not interested. And like I I'm not a huge salesy person. I only sell the products that I personally use and enjoy. I don't ever try to sell somebody something that I'm not interested in or that I personally don't like.
Yeah.
I get a lot of like, I'm not into that. And my response is, you're not into smelling good. You're not into shaving. You're
Yeah.
not into,
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
all into that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all those products that I have there are all products that I have used for 7 months.
Okay.
And I enjoy them, so I like to share them.
So let's get a little interest going here. So
So
I'm just
Nick,
gonna-
that's a lot of product.
yeah,
It is a lot of product.
firming cream, body
you say
boost.
you use all of them.
Not maybe all at once.
Firming cream body boost.
Yeah. What is that?
So that's
Because that looks like hair gel to me.
it's just the packaging. But
Yeah.
the body boost is our firming cream, so it's good for like if you have crow's feet or like wrinkly forehead. It's just basically it's infused with caffeine, so it helps with people who have like really cellulite asses and stuff
Okay.
like
Oh,
that.
really?
You can
I've
put
heard
that
about
on
that.
there,
Yeah.
and it tightens up. I actually I have like before and after pictures of that
Yeah.
for people to see that are like in my VIP group on Facebook.
All right.
So that's what that is.
So body boost, good for
Yeah.
the cellulite.
And you can put that on anything, like anywhere.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Okay, so that's like a moisturizing cream to kind of
Yeah.
take it to the most basic
firming-
level.
Firming
cream.
lotion. Yeah.
So then we got an anti-friction elixir.
That's the Chafe Escape. So it's basically like a liquid, but it dries as a powder, and it's for like
Oh.
people who get like chub rub or like
Chub rub.
yeah,
What does that mean?
like people have like they have big thighs, then they get like
Oh,
the rubbing,
like
so
the
the
non-thigh gap?
irritation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good for like swells, sweaty balls, and
I love the candor, man. I
the
love it. Okay,
Mountain
now I'm
Dew.
back interested into this
Yeah,
again.
so it's good for like Mountain Dew, like women under their breasts. Like I work in a warehouse and we have no temperature control, so I'm sweating all day. Where I go to the bathroom and I literally have to roll my underwear down and then struggle to get them back up. So I just put that on, and
Yeah.
I'm just good to go. Slide underwear on, slide underwear up. Like
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So
It's
good
good product.
Good for the swits, good for the swalls,
Yeah.
and good for the
Swass,
the
sweaty
swass.
ass. Yeah.
Man, we should sell this. We talk about that all the time
Oh my
here.
God, put that
It's
on
good.
in between sessions.
All right, let's see
Forget
this.
about sanitizer. We'll just put the swass in those little pump things.
I just want to keep hearing you explain this stuff. Okay, we got Miracle Oil.
So that's like literally for anything like scrapes, cuts. My friend, her kid banged his eye on the corner of the coffee table,
Okay.
and he had like a gash here, and she asked me if she could put that on, and I was like, yeah, just but like use your finger to put it on because it's like a drop, right?
Right.
You don't want to get it in the eye, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, a day later she posted a picture, and it was like it wasn't like gone, obviously, but
Right.
it was definitely
But it helps.
yeah. So they call it the miracle oil. It's
Cool.
good for all things.
See what else we got over here.
That's our coochie.
This.
Yes. So that's our shave gel. So it's
I
good.
love the names and your descriptions.
So
Okay.
it gives you no bumps, no rashes, no ingrown hairs.
Okay.
It's our actually #1 seller product. That is the coochie. It comes in like I brought the unisex line, so
Mhm.
for you guys to smell and stuff. But
Okay.
it comes in like all different scents.
So after I do a little manscaping,
yeah,
I
and
might want to follow up with this.
it also doubles as a hair conditioner.
Smells good,
so
actually.
it's pretty
Smell
awesome.
that. You'll like that. It smells good. All right, we got a good one here.
Mm.
All right. Great head.
Great
Great head.
So that's like a oral gel. So whatever, you get the gist of that.
So when you're
but-
having oral sex, you put this in your mouth so that you don't get dry mouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Gotcha.
And gagging reflex and all that jazz, But
It gets rid of the gagging reflex.
Yeah, and
How?
it's also
Babe.
Yeah.
Take
also
this.
if you do smoke marijuana, it's when you
pasties?
have cotton mouth, like
Yeah.
pasties, whatever they
Oh,
call
really?
that. It's good for that too. So
Can we try it? Like, what do you do? Just
Oh,
put it in your finger? or
that
what?
one's not open.
Oh,
I'm
I see.
sorry, I
No
don't
problem.
have it open because I don't do head.
No.
You should try it.
We all know that.
You should try it.
Ooh, flirt. Extreme danger. Very flammable.
Okay, so that's our flirt spray. It's actually for the wet spot on the bed because nobody wants to sleep in the wet spot. Let's
Man,
be
you guys
real.
got
Those
products
wet
for
spots.
everything.
We do, right? So, and who wants to do laundry at like 1 in the morning?
Yeah,
after
no
You know,
we've had
doubt.
a
it's funny that
session?
you say all these things because then you start. Oh yeah, that thing. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I can
So-
see why this exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also good if you have super stinky feet and you can spray it in your shoes. Like if you're one of those people that have like really bad
So this
feet smell.
comes out as like a liquid, but turns into a powder to dry.
Yeah, it's like like an aerosol spray kind
Mm.
of, and then yeah, it does on your sheet dry like white or whatever, but
Mm.
it's good for the wet spot. That's mainly what it's
Okay.
for, right? Because no one wants to sleep in that. So
What do you think would be a good product if you have, like, I know, so when we're doing coaching, we got to coach for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, and everything is sweaty from head to toe. Probably something I should consider, something for my feet, like into, even in between classes, or would that something like that would be good?
yeah, it's like it just like more for smell. Like if you want to like not be sweaty, it's the Chafe Escape is what I recommend.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right, let's see how we can get you to describe some other stuff here. I'm enjoying this. Oh, this one I feel like we can sample.
Yes, you can.
This is the Titan for smooth skin.
It's our lotion. So all lotions that you buy in the store, first ingredient's usually water, which
Mhm.
dries out your skin. This is aloe. Our first ingredient is aloe.
Okay.
So I have super dry skin, and I use this like every day.
Yeah, it's got
It's-
coconut oil, aloe,
Yeah, it's
all good stuff.
super good.
Smells really nice too. And you know what I like about this? It's not a super overpowering smell.
Yeah, it's not super
just subtle.
strong. I
Ev-
like that one too. Like all the other ones are super like we have like a vanilla one and like the flirt, which is also popular for like women, but this
Mhm.
is our unisex line, and this is my favorite. This is the
Mhm.
one I use. So
Gotcha. All right, let's see what else we got. This is in a nice box.
oh yeah, that's our soy massage candle. So it's up good for 20 massages, and you just like light it as a candle. It's a candle,
Mhm.
and it comes with like a chalk. It's kind of a cute little thing, but you can write on this on like the outside's kind of like a chalkboard, so you can like write a little
Aw,
message on it. And,
Cute.
you
I'm gonna
know,
get you this for your
romantic.
birthday.
Please, thank
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Even got a spout.
Yeah.
So you can pour the oil
you.
on.
So you just
or
Yeah,
the,
light, you
so-
just light that up.
Let it like let it melt a bit, and then it's good for like 20 massages. And we also have like I don't have it here, but we have a massaging glove to use. to
Okay.
Do with massages or just with your hands.
And the
Whatever.
chalk comes with everything. That's a good. That's a nice
Yeah.
little gift.
That's the first thing I actually bought for Pure Romance. I
Is
was
it?
like, wow, this is so cute.
Yeah, that's a good gift.
Yeah, it is.
Like that's something that
totally.
you could get for anybody, right? All right, let's see what else we got going on here.
Oh, that's our lube. That's
Just like me.
Yeah. So that lube is our water-based lube, and it comes in sugar donut, or just that one is just regular unscented.
Okay.
Um,
So what's the difference between lubes? This is actually a legit question. What makes a good lube? What makes a bad lube?
well, it just depends. Like we have whipped lubes, which are good for like C rings, and like more for like foreplay, and then
Mm-hmm.
they suggest using like a water-based one on your toys because it won't like wreck them.
Mm.
Because
Mm.
so it's just like a whip lube is like more thicker, so it's like more for foreplay, and this is and those ones are more just like those ones are kind of cool because like they dry, but then as soon as like you like say it's like dries, right, and then you lick it or get any like sort of moisture near it,
Yeah.
it's like gets right lubed up again.
Okay.
So it's that.
That's this one here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that one comes like in a sugar donut flavor, or just that one's the regular.
So is that just meant for toys, or can you use that?
You can use that too
Yeah.
for like it's
So-
not necessarily just for toys.
So actual, like, I guess person to person penetration would be oil based. No, oil based
no, you
or water based.
water based.
Water based.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So is coconut oil good for that or not? Is it good for lubrication for sex? Is that a good natural thing to use?
I'm not even sure.
I would think
I
so.
would
I've
think
tried it, but
so.
I didn't
Like-
find it as good as the other stuff.
I just find coconut oil solves all of life's problems. So
Yeah.
that's sort of the reason why I just stick
Handy.
with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were gonna use like a home kind, that's like a home remedy one. I would use the coconut oil.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be using like no
Okay.
cooking oil or anything.
Whip out the Pam spray. All right, so we got some hydrating body oil.
Yeah, that's our body dew, and that is good for like if you, like I burn really bad in the
Mhm.
summer because I'm so pale.
Mm-hmm.
You can put that on like when you get home from like usually people put like aloe vera on, right?
Yeah.
You get home, you put that on. Next morning you wake up, you're not even red. You're like literally tanned. You're like, whoa, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And it's also good just for like people who have tattoos because in time like tattoos get like all dry and like they don't look as fresh.
Right.
You put that on tattoos, it brightens them all up, and it's just really like an oil that's like a moisturizer,
Okay.
but it's good for
This
many
is open?
things. So yep, it's open.
This is open. Ooh, it actually is a nice oil.
Yeah.
So this would be something that you would wear. Sorry, you said, what did you say about the sun?
Like if you come home with a sunburn, you just put it on, and like it stops you from peeling, so you don't get
Okay.
any like peel, like like
Yeah.
all that scaly.
I like that.
So
for-
do you have all this
Yeah.
stuff just lined up on your dresser at home?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
do.
It's funny because I
Yeah.
made a post today on my Instagram, and I have like all my supplements all in a line.
Yeah.
And prior to taking all these supplements, I would have never believed in taking multiple things.
Yeah.
But I've got one for
Yeah,
every,
like I went
every
from
little
just having
thing,
like a
and
deodorant on my dresser,
Yeah,
and now I
exactly.
got like all this. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
the Jergens
Yeah.
Jergens lotion.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
And your 5-gallon pail of hair gel.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you still taking that, or
No, I haven't used hair gel. in
no?
a
You
long
got the
time.
ponytail now,
Got
eh?
the top knot going on.
What is it called? Top
Nick,
knot.
you got to get one.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
think
don't
it'll
know.
look good.
Soothing aftershave mist.
Yeah, so that like tightens your pores and just like moisturizes after you shave, like for your face or your legs or your
You know what?
coochie,
All this
whatever.
stuff is important, man. Like I use in my shower, Jet goes in my shower and he pours out all my stuff and then I don't have any shampoo and I've been using just basic body wash for my hair.
That's
I'm
why
like,
I don't have
"This-
kids.
This sucks. I was like, this sucks. And then you actually put on a decent product. And I've tried the coconut oil on my skin, and I just find that, like, just to maintain it, and then it's very oily and it
Yeah.
doesn't last long.
Yeah.
To find the right lotion, to find the right lubes, it actually makes a difference.
Oh,
And
100%.
I've actually
yeah.
bought, and so if we're talking about lubes here, I've bought the expensive stuff. We went to a toy store one time and I bought like a $30 lube, and I didn't like it at
No.
all. And I just used the basic water-based, you know what I mean? But I just used lots of it.
I agree, man. I've never
That's
had
how
a
I-
great experience
Yeah,
with lube.
that's how
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
too. Like that one I have is just like I said, no scent. I've tried the sugar donut one. I'm not a huge fan. It's totally.
I just want to eat a
preference,
sugar
but-
donut now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally preference, but
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got here?
that's a heating heart. So if you see there's a metal thing inside of there,
Oh,
and
yeah, you
you
just pop
click
it.
it,
Oh yeah.
and then it's like. It's good for like giving a massage. It's good for if you have your lady time. You have cramps. It's good for all that. So you just
What does that mean?
you bend it.
Lady time and cramps. Like what? So
You're putting it on your belly.
Yeah. Like
okay,
on
and
your-
that helps.
Yeah, like totally, because heat helps like women when they're crampy. Like helps me anyways.
So I've had a crazy muscle cramp. I don't know if you saw it in a workout. It was like maybe last week or 2 weeks ago.
Did you see this when he looked like he got shot during the workout?
like, no, I didn't.
Man,
I'm
you got to
sad I
watch
missed
it.
it.
You got to watch this. He was just being a regular coach, and then all of a sudden he was like, and you
I
got to
couldn't
remember,
breathe.
so Nary's working out, music's
Yeah.
still going, everything's still moving,
Yeah.
and he's like frozen completely, and then his
and then I just drop to
And
the
then he
floor. Is that
falls.
what it feels like?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Really?
it's
Because I was, yeah.
It was one of those moments where, like, at first it was funny as hell, and then
Yeah.
you're like, maybe this is serious.
Serious.
Like, maybe he's having a heart attack here. I'm not even sure what's going on. But that should be in some kind of a blooper reel, Jerome.
That's got to be.
That was an interesting thing. All right, so we got a couple more products here.
So we also have essential oils. That blue one is that one is one of the ones that I use. It
Roll-On.
Yep, it's
Okay.
all roll on. It like boosts your confidence. It's just like kind of like a upper kind of thing. You put it on your temples and it just like gets you going for the day. It's called Rise and Grind.
Maybe
I
there's some
believe.
smelling salts in there.
So there's some kind of product in here. Is this open?
Yeah, it's open.
Ammonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that thing again.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's good.
Actually,
got-
it's pretty nice.
You know Coach Jesse? You know Jesse?
Yeah.
So he brought us these.
Smelling salts.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're just like partially ammonia,
Okay.
and you take it, and nothing hits you faster than that.
Holy man, it blows your head back. Like it's really an eye opener, man. For
That-
sure.
That one is our basic instinct, the pink one that you're
Yeah.
holding. That's also a super
Is
popular
this a
product.
sample or is this?
Yeah,
what
you
is-
can use it.
okay, so I just take
it's
it
mine.
and
so
I just rub it on my temples.
So you're just supposed to
Yeah.
use this. So a rubbing. Sorry, what's this called again? Essential
That's-
oil.
Yeah, that's an essential oil. This one here is
Okay.
our basic instinct. That is actually
Ooh,
good
sex attraction.
for yeah, actually. So
Oh, put the wrong one on.
I'm
I'm around Jerome all day. I
Yeah.
better be careful.
So-
Yeah, exactly.
that one is interesting. That one will not smell the same on any person.
Oh.
That goes by the chemistry of your body.
Yeah.
It smells different on everybody. It also boosts sex appeal. It's also good for anxiety. My friend's son has anxiety, and when he goes to school and he's not near his mom, he gets anxiety where like he wants to come home. So she rubs that on his wrist,
Mhm.
and then he goes to school. And then if he's having a moment and he's in school and he's just all discreet, right? Like he
Mm.
smells because like his mom wears that.
Oh,
So
I see.
it's like a comfort thing.
Interesting.
When I get
But-
nervous, I go like this. I put my hands in my armpits.
And then you smell them. You get nervous anymore?
When
I don't know.
sometimes a little bit.
You know, I hear a lot of people talk about anxiety and having
Yeah.
like anxiety attacks or whatever, and I'm almost thinking once you get to a certain level, maybe you can answer this because you went from now you have all this confidence and now you're coming out of your shell. And yes, I've seen you have very positive posts. That's one thing about you is your
Yeah.
positivity. You just said you did some kind of a live video. I haven't seen it. I'm not sure what that means. And you accepted the challenge of coming on a podcast. No problem. We didn't even have to convince you.
Yeah.
And I normally wouldn't have done
Yeah.
that because, like, for me, I used to get bad anxiety, like really bad, like where I just can't breathe and like feel like my world's like closing in on me, and it's like the worst feeling ever. But I do find that I don't get anxiety as much as I used to.
Okay.
I still sometimes do, depending, but like I always just like, Nikki, you're fine. Like when I was coming here this morning, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, I'm gonna die. I don't think I can do this. I'm gonna puke. What the hell? And I'm like, Nikki, you're fine. Like it's like I'm bipolar or something. It's gonna like talk myself out of it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, it's true. Like when you build your confidence, you just feel like you just feel better, right? Like
Yeah.
you doubt yourself and you're always your worst critic. So
Always. Yeah.
So like if you can get past that, it's
So let me ask you this: do you think that the word anxiety is overused and it's probably not as bad, or maybe it's more of an excuse for people to justify not taking care of themselves or doing something like going to the gym?
yeah.
Do you think
'cause
that's what it is?
it's really all just about like pushing past that.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're just like, oh, I can't do it because I have anxiety, well, you're never gonna do it.
Yeah.
And like with my live, what I was saying is I always watch people do live videos and I'm like, oh my god, I could never. I don't know how people get on there and talk for 10 minutes. I can't even talk for 2 minutes. I'm like, I can't do this. But
Yeah.
I went to Birds Hill one day and I parked my car and I got out and I was like, hey, I'm gonna do a live video today. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm gonna like try. I'm just gonna make a short, sweet one, whatever.
Yeah.
And I did it, and like after I was like, oh my god, I'm like, I can't believe I did that. And it was something so small, but it was something that was huge for me
Yeah.
because I'm like, I would never do that. You would never catch me doing a live video.
Yeah.
And now I make them all the time because I have to do it for my business
Right.
too,
Nice.
right? Because a lot of things are virtual as well. So
Mhm. So what was the context of that video? Like, what was? What'd you talk
I
about?
think it was just basically one of like my positive moments where I was just telling people to like appreciate the day, step out of your comfort zone, do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So
Cool. That's great advice.
yeah.
So let me ask you this. So you, let's say someone's listening to this right now, wants to do better for themselves, wants to get in shape, wants to improve themselves, but can't. Terrified, right? Happens all the time. People are like, I just can't do it. I see them on camera. I don't want to be on camera. I
Yeah.
see that they all look like they're athletes, like going to the Olympics, because a lot of you guys look like that
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah.
And they're super terrified. So what do you tell that person? How do you get them to do it?
I would just say come in and do it. Like when I first walked in here, my first day, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm overweight. I can't breathe. And like, they want me to do that? Are they kidding me? Like, I can't do that. And like, there was moments where I was like, I can't do, but I tried, and like that was all that mattered. And when I
Yeah.
left here, I felt good, and it made me want to come back. Like when I left, I was like, man, I want to do another one. Like I'm ready to go tomorrow, and like
Yeah.
I just say, just do it. Like
Mhm.
put your fears and your worries behind you. And I find this place to be super encouraging and supporting here, and I find people to be super friendly. And I know when I'm working out and I see someone struggling, I always like offer a suggestion or like
Mhm.
whatever, just so I just say do it. Like just do it. Like
Yeah.
there's no, don't question it, because when you question it, that's when you start like
I know.
being like, no, I'm just gonna leave. Just
Yeah,
do
You
it.
can always find an excuse not to do anything, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
So
and what about what the hell was I just gonna ask you? I lost my train of thought here. Oh, judgment. Do you feel like you got judged when you rolled in here? Was anybody looking at you sideways and be like, "Oh my God, what you doing here?" Like, do you feel that? Because I feel a lot of people use that as an excuse
I never
to never
felt
do
that
it.
once here,
No.
like at all. Like I didn't at all.
Yeah.
Not one time.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's something that people just should never ever consider.
Mhm.
You know, like you've created an environment. We create an environment where people, as long as you're here,
mhm.
we're not judging. I mean, this whole facility is for you. You know,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
what this place is
Exactly.
for. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could see maybe you jumped on stage to become a runway model and you're 100 pounds overweight. You're gonna get judged.
Yeah.
You
But you're
also never know someone's story, right? Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of people, like they might have been through something traumatic and just like ate their sadness away or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like you never know that.
Mhm.
So it's like I've never felt judged here at all, and
Mhm.
I don't feel like anyone really has. Like I've never heard anyone be like, "Oh man, I felt like I was judged
I know.
today." Like I don't.
Yeah. But it's funny how people I don't it's like I don't know where it comes from then because I feel like that's like the number one or number two. I'm too busy is number one or have no
Yeah.
time, and then number two is I don't want to be judged.
Yeah.
So, like again, where does this come from in the world that everybody's so judgmental? You know, I don't
Yeah,
see
I
it
think it
in
gets
the real
built
world.
up in your head, and I
Yeah.
think people are thinking of other people, like, oh, they're gonna think, and it's like, well, who are they?
That's
Yeah.
because everybody's always worried about what everyone else
Yeah,
is
and
thinking.
I always
right?
say that to somebody. I said, who are those people that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what people? Those people. I'm like, which people? You're not telling me
Yeah.
anybody.
Yeah.
And so people do get it worked up in their heads, and I think that's the biggest thing is like, just do something about it.
Yeah,
You know,
100%.
like get out there and do something about it.
Yeah.
Can I get my review?
Hell yeah.
So, guys, I've been sitting on this thing in a very discreet location.
With a big smile, weird smile on his face.
That's why I wasn't saying much for this entire episode. But I'll tell you this much: this thing is awesome. Like, wow, it's the lacrosse balls are like $5 each, right? But it's you got to do it yourself. If you want one thing where it's all about like it does it for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I know this thing's $100. I know it's $100.
It is, and if you book a party with me, you get discount, right? Because it's based on like your sales for your
Well,
party.
now you're speaking in
so-
Winnipeg terms.
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
Saying,
And it,
I
and
mean,
How do we get
everybody-
the
if you want to get
discount?
the Filipinos on board, you say, I want the discount.
Yeah.
Or I want the discount 50%.
Hey, everybody's down to save money.
Yeah.
Of course
But I'll
it
tell you,
is.
this thing is amazing, and and I'm saying this truly, like I was sitting on this, and I usually sit through these things, and I can't sit through these things
Yeah.
because my legs are so sore from sitting, right? And this thing was on my hamstrings, and I just kept switching back and forth, and there's multiple levels. Well worth the investment if you're working out hard, and it's got dual delivery, meaning that it's going to loosen up your muscles
hmm
and it can be used
Get
for
you
something.
fired up.
Get you fired up and fired down. So, highly recommended product. So, Nick, how do they get a hold of you for one of these
They
guys?
can get me on Facebook.
Yep.
I'm on Facebook and
So, how do they find you? Spell it out for them.
Yeah.
Nikki Herbert, NIKKIHERBERT.
Okay.
So I'm on Facebook, or you can call or message me. Like I don't,
Yeah.
whatever.
You want to? Maybe we should just spearhead this and maybe just organize a party. What do you
Yeah,
think? You
let's
want
do that.
Wanna do
Yeah,
that?
We should do that.
We want to, once they open up capacity, I want to have some events here.
Yeah, that'd
right?
be awesome.
A party of 24 is okay, I guess. But, once they open it up, I want to bring in some vendors and you can set up a table and do a demo and
Yeah, for sure.
all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That'd be great. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna end the podcast right there. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with anybody?
No, I'm good.
we're
but
good?
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. I really like all your words, by the way. You said a lot of great things that really
very good.
resonate with me.
And very natural.
Very natural.
You're a little bit nervous when you came in.
Yeah,
But then
I
there's
was.
lights, camera, action, and it's showtime.
That's all right. That's how you get over it, right?
That's right.
All right, Nick, everybody do me a favor, like, comment, and share this video. Make sure that you get a hold of Nikki if you guys want to host a party. Get a hold of some of these health and wellness products and some of the other stuff that we haven't really discussed yet, but it looks pretty good. And if you can go to YouTube, on YouTube, and subscribe to our channel, Fit Club Media. Everybody, have a good day. We'll see you next week, 11 a.m. Thursdays. That's when we're going to be shooting the podcast.
Yeah.